So in this guys, you are able to see my screen?
Yes.
So in this diagram, this is talk about the business intelligence. In the previous session, 1 second, I will have a water. In this diagram, this is very common diagram and simple diagram, which is speak about the business intelligence. Darshan, you spoke about the Power BI, that is reporting tool. Okay. Here in this image, this is the reporting tool here. There are a lot many reporting tools in the market: Power BI, ClickView, Tableau, SSRS, etc. Okay. Always the reporting tool are generated from the database. The data is extracted from the database, and then the data is representing in the reporting tool. But in the Power BI, there are options. You can feed the data. You can feed the data from the database. You can feed the data from the file systems in the Power BI. Okay. Once you load the data into the Power BI from the file, there you can write some DAX expression and then generate the reports. While working with the database combination and then your reporting tool combination, you have to have extract the data from the database. To extract the database, obviously you need a SQL expertise. Without the SQL expertise, you can't do the anything. You have to write robust SQL code on top of your database knowledge. One thing I can say, irrespective of the technologies, if you want to move into the data side, either ETL, either reporting, either data warehousing, either data scientist or data analyst, whatever it is, irrespective of the trending technology, irrespective of the traditional technologies, you have to have the strong SQL knowledge, whether it is a SQL Server, whether it is Oracle, whether it is a Teradata, DB2, MySQL, whatever it is. But you should be have strong knowledge on the one SQL if you want to start journey on the data side. Guys, getting or not getting?
Yes. I am quite in line.
So my points are make sense or not?
Yes, they do make sense.
Yeah, I will let you know one more architecture. I will let you know one more architecture. This is a very big architecture. You don't confuse. You don't confuse. I will tell you why do you require the SQL knowledge? Why do you the require this architecture? What I will give you the this is out of our syllabus. This architecture, this is out of syllabus. Just I will give you the glance. This architecture, what it is doing, it is getting the data from the existing system and applying a artificial intelligence model on top of your existing data, and it is generating the predictions or forecasting data. The high level, the explanation of this architecture. It is extracting a data from the existing systems and applying some data quality services or data cleansing technologies on top of your existing data. And the data quality data, whatever you are getting, the output from the data quality, the data is feeding to the artificial intelligence models by using your existing data. Your artificial intelligence will analyze your data, and it is generating the forecasting trends or predictions. Example, if you take the Amazon business, if you feed the Amazon business data to the artificial intelligence model, it will analyze the existing data 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and it is generating the predictions of that business, how much the revenue may be generated in the next 4 years or 5 years, which is a product more demanding in the future. All these things under by applying a artificial intelligence models, you can apply. In this journey, now tell me, what is the core component here? What is the source here? Tell me, guys.
Data.
Data. On top of that, what you will do? You will apply a data quality, data cleansing formulas, everything. Again, that is the data. So here, in this journey, without having a SQL knowledge, can you achieve all these things?
No, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, because see here in this diagram, so in this here SAP source, this is SAP, this is completely out of our syllabus. I am just trying to explain you what is the importance of SQL. So this is the SAP system. Number one, SAP system. In the SAP also you have a SAP HANA database and everything. It is bringing a data and feeding this data into the data bricks. That is artificial intelligence model. Okay. Second, this data goes to the second step here. Here, the data is loading into the raw tables. On top of that, you are going to apply some uh, data enrichment, normalization, transformations, and then that will be used for the some BI purpose. So here, what I mean to say, you are bringing this data, storing this data into the raw tables. On top of that, you are applying some SQL concepts. Either it is SQL concepts, either it is ETL concept, that is different. But you have to have the strong knowledge of the SQL to survive in the data world. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Got
That's
it?
quite good. Yeah.
I can't say you have to learn the only SQL Server. No. Whatever it is, either SQL Server, either Oracle, either Teradata, either MySQL, either any other SQL, one SQL should be expertise is required. If you are expertise in one SQL, if you get the work in the other database, by comparing the syntax and then coding, you can easily incorporate the logic in the other database. See, I am expertise in a SQL Server. I am working in the Postgres also. Sometimes I get the work in the office in Postgres. Sometimes I am going to work here. And sometimes I get the work in the MySQL. I am going to work in the MySQL. And sometimes I get the work in Snowflake. It is live work. Snowflake. And I'm also working in the Snowflake. So here by applying some artificial intelligence concepts in the Snowflake, currently I'm working on the incorporating the artificial intelligence model into the Snowflake. So that's why. So there also completely your SQL knowledge is required. I will tell you why you require SQL knowledge. There also you are going to write uh Jesus, there also you are going to write SQL only 84. Yeah. This is SQL account. No, this is Snowflake account. Just I'm going to show you what is the importance of your SQL. I am working on the to explore the intelligence AI models. With the AI models, see whatever you write here, you write here. See, this is a select statement. By using your AI artificial intelligence concepts and working with the sequels, you can do some work with the Snowflake and all. This is little bit high level. So the main thing is why I am going to share all these things. I am not enforcing you guys to learn only a SQL Server. No, if you want to enter into the data world, think generically and talk generically. Right. Keep aside the business, keep aside the revenue and all. If you want to start your journey and then you want to be very strong in the data world, then you have to learn the very strong anyone database. That is what I can say, Darshan, for your question. Make
Yeah,
sense?
that's quite clear. Yeah.
Make sense or no?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
One more
Yeah.
is in this course, are we going to build robust and complex models like replicating the real world scenario? Because most of the courses they don't do that. They just like
No,
tell
no, no,
basics and
no,
just
no,
leave
no,
it
no,
there.
no, 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 no. In my course, 1 second. In my course, that's what I'm here. I don't want even you. I got your question actually. I don't want, okay, the basics employee table and then the department table and all. I will show you uh, what are the things I have covered. in my previous sessions. Okay. One second. Okay. I stored complete code actually. If you open the transactions and then concurrency. So this is advanced concept actually. See here, if you see this transactions is the one of the concept in the SQL Server. Okay.
Yeah.
Transactions is the one of the concept in the SQL Server. I am going to explain the very advanced topics like see transactions, leave about the transaction, locks and then blocking. Okay. That is again isolation levels. Okay. So there are multiple isolation levels and all. We have a different isolation levels. That's what these things and all very advanced level topics in SQL Server. Darshan, I can say this is one of
Yeah.
the one of the scenario I have taken what I have explained in the previous session. One second. Uh, see, you see the subqueries. Subqueries also I have given a lot of very good examples which are exactly whatever the scenarios we are implementing in the projects. Even the trainers outside they don't know these scenarios and they don't know this code also. You can understand the scenarios. These things and all see these things and all we are using see we are using in our projects only. Okay, one second. So these things and all important running aggregator. Okay, and fetching the next value and then previous value from the existing record. Okay, this code itself completely incorporating your exist operator with the subqueries. So these are some complex code actually. To understand this itself, it will take more time for you guys as a fresher who don't know the code, SQL code. This looks like some 7 to 8 lines only, but it requires a lot of practice and then understanding to understand this code actually. Right. That's it, Darshan. Any other queries?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the answers.
Yeah.
So one more thing is I
Yeah.
have quite an old system, like
Mhm.
10 years old system, and is it possible for me to work on a lower version than this SQL management server?
I didn't get you. Your old laptop means old system or old PC or laptop?
Laptop, sir.
Okay.
But this 2014, that
That's
cannot be
okay.
restored.
That's okay. What is the configuration?
It's an i3 system, sir.
No, what is the RAM and then your hard disk?
It's 4 GB RAM.
4 GB, it won't work actually for SQL Server installation. You
Okay.
can install, but if you can install, but it will hang actually. 8
Okay.
GB, 8 GB is enough. 8 GB, if you install 4 GB is enough actually. But if you install, then it will occupy your entire memory, right?
Yeah, it does. That's why
Mm.
actually, is it possible that I install a lower version like 2008 and work on
No,
that?
no, 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 no. It is not like that. SQL
Oh,
Server, whether it is installing lower version or latest version, that is not matter. But for that, minimum 4 GB memory is required for SQL Server software. Already you have a 4 GB. Try to install it. Try to install it SQL Server in your machine. Try how is your laptop performance. If it is
okay.
degrading your performance, then you can enhance your RAM size. That's it.
Yeah, I will try that.
Yeah, you first you try into your thing. And one more thing, Darshan, actually, I came to know you have a lot of gaps, right?
Uh, in the sense, I didn't get your
Lot
question.
of gap means you have a more experience, right?
Yeah, but not in the IT field or
Not in the IT
anything.
field. That's what, not in the IT field. To serve the suppose if you wanted to switch into the IT world, this SQL Server itself it will not sufficient for you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
need to do something extra which are hot in the market.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Hmm. If required, I can suggest you some technologies.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. I think that will be helpful.
yeah, we will correct sometime later. Okay.
Yes, definitely, sir. Definitely.
Because see, even in current situation, market is little bit slow. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
First thing, market is little bit slow for all the technologies. First thing. And the second thing is we are getting a calls. We are getting a calls only for the trending technologies, cloud technologies.
Okay.
That's okay, but irrespective of the technologies, if you want to start your career into the data end, but you have to learn the compulsory SQL with very strong knowledge.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and it will be helpful this knowledge in other technologies. That's what I can say.
Yes, sir. That advice is very good for me, sir.
Yeah, sure then.
So,
Chalo.
yeah.
Yeah, we will start today's discussion. Okay. So I told that so in SQL Server we have discussed what is the meaning of user defined database. So this is the one of the user defined database. Just you will create database name. Then this database will create. But what will happen? What will happen behind the screen and how the data is going to store? That we will see today. Okay. See, I told that. So this is the database. This is the database in SQL Server. User defined. I can say user defined database in SQL Server. If you create user-defined database in SQL Server, what will happen? So inside the SQL Server, actually, it is going to create the two files, data files. Okay, what is this? No, it is going to create the data file, and then it is going to create the log file. Log file in SQL Server. I will tell you what is. I will tell you. See, whenever you create a database in the SQL Server, okay, automatically one primary one primary data file will create. Okay, one primary data file will create. One primary data file will create. One log file will create. Okay, one log file will create. So this is for sure. You can't see all these things while creating you can't see, but once you create by using your SQL skills you can able to see. So this is the data file. Okay, leave about this. One data file will create and one log file will create, and the file name with the extension is .mdf. The file name with extension is .ldf. Okay. Then what is the purpose? What is the purpose of this data file and what is the purpose of this log file? Okay, and these data files, see, obviously, guys, whenever I am going to create, whenever I install SQL Server, okay, whenever you create a user-defined database, while creation of this user-defined database, if you don't give where exactly this database, in which location this database need to create, if you don't give the location of this database, because see in database, uh so in database what you will do, actually tell me guys, in database what you will do?
I think we have to store the data and
You have
then
to
we have
store
to
the data. To store the immediate space, right now.
Storing the data.
Yeah, storing the data. To store the data, see, you are storing your songs in your machine. You need a folder. You need a folder where it is going to store. It is stored in the some drive, right? So for that you require some space, right? Yes or no?
Some storage space. Yes.
Some storage space. Here also, if you install SQL Server in your machine, if you create a one database, it is not going to store in any cloud, or it is not going to some any unknown space. No, it is going to occupy your local system storage space, your drive space only. If we, while creation of your SQL Server user defined database, if you don't give the location while creation of the database, it will take the default location. That default location will be provided at the time of your SQL Server installation. What is the default location of your data file? What is the default location of your log file? At the time of installation of your SQL Server, you are going to give that location, either D drive, either E drive, either F drive, either G drive, either H drive. You are going to give. Once you install and then given all these things, while creation of a database, also, you can give the different location. Whatever you have given the default location. Other than that, suppose default location you have given the D drive, but at the time of creation of your database, you can give the E drive, you can give the F drive, you can give the G drive, H drive also. So for that here, see, that's what I open to show that one, but so this is the database and then files. See here, these files are, I will come why we have a multiple files here. I will come to that point, but path D drive is SQL session and then new folder. 1 second, I will go to where is the new drive. Where is the new drive? New folder. N, yeah, new folder. If you open, see, these are the files. Here, see here, data file, log file. Then I will come to the story now. See, now this data file and then this log file. First of all, try to understand why this primary data file, why this log file. See, you can load the data into the database. By using any ETL tool, or by using any SQL statements, insert statement, you can load the data into the database. Yes or no, guys? Why you are going to use the ETL tool means the data will be available in the files. Those files will be available in the some client machine. Okay, you are working for the some State Bank of India project. They will generate the files and they will place the files into their shared location, and they will provide the access to the your machine. By using your ETL tool, you can connect to that location and then access the files and then load the data into the database. That is the one thing. Second thing is, without this ETL tool, you can also load the data into the database by using the SQL statements. Now, you store the data, you loaded the data into the database. Obviously, the database is going to store into the multiple tables. Now, the physical data has already stored into the multiple tables. That physical data is going to store into the data file only. This data file is going to store in any of your drive. If you load 10 GB of data into the tables, that 10 GB of data will be loaded into this data file. This data file is configured to your D drive. Okay, your D drive. In that D drive, it is going to occupy the space. See here, what is the size here? It is occupying the space. These files are occupying the space of my local system D drive. And you can store the data into this data file until this, see, 100 GB is the capacity of my D drive. Until the 100 GB only, you can store the data into this database. So in this primary data file, whatever you store the business data or physical data into the database and into the your multiple tables, obviously that data is going to reside into the data file, and this data file is mapped to the any physical drive. There the data file will be available, that your local drive space will be consumed, this stored data. Now this direction is clear or not clear? Tell me guys. I have explained high level this direction. This is clear or not clear? Guys,
Clear, sir. Perfectly clear.
clear, right? Others?
It's clear, sir.
Clear,
Hello.
sir.
Yeah, and we have so many story behind this data file. For now, just try to understand. You are going to store into the store into the data file. Now, I will remove this direction. I will come into this log file. Okay. I will come into this direction. What is the purpose of log file? Any idea, guys?
Might be for logging the purpose, something like transactions log. How I don't know much, but might be for logging purpose, that whatever the transactions are getting done, something not the backup, but the transactions how are getting logged over here.
Okay. Others? Others?
I think it
Others?
stores all the, as said by it stores all the logging information, right? The changes when someone is making any changes. What are the changes? I guess it does that work.
Okay. Others? Others? That's fine.
No
Now
idea.
let me explain from my. See, in this data file, what is there?
Data complete.
Data. How this data is stored into this data file? How this data is stored into the data file?
I mean, you are asking in terms of like binaries or like in
No.
some.
So who has loaded the data into this data file? Maybe ETL tool or SQL statements, right?
Right. Miss the
Yeah.
system. Yes. The SQL is
Yeah.
coming right.
Maybe ETL tools are loaded the data into this data file. See, ETL tools will load the data. Obviously, SQL or ETL tools will load the data into the tables only, not into this data file. What is happening
Correct.
of the behind the screen? That is a story. Your ETL tool will load the data. Your ETL tool will load the data into the tables. Once the data is loaded to the tables, the data is going to reside into this data file. Now the story is, what is the purpose of this log file is, before going to insert a data directly into your data file, first of all it will come into the log file. Entire transactions, that is the architecture. First of all, I will tell you why this is round step. Why this is round step? There is a purpose. You may ask, why, sir? Again, second, why it has to come into the log file, and then instead of this, it should store directly into the data file. I will tell you the story. Whenever the data is inserted into the table, the very first thing is that those transactions or that records will be loaded into the data file. Okay. And you have initiated the data load through your ETL tool or your SQL statement. Suppose you have initiated to insert the data around 1000 records, and you are executing your SQL, or you have started to execute your ETL tool. Whenever the ETL tool is started to extract the data and then try to load the data into the tables, those 1000 records will be loaded into this log file. Once that data load process is completed successfully, that is nothing but 1000 records are inserted, completed successfully. Then this log file will load the data into the data file, those 1000 records. Now, second point, that ETL tool is started to load the data into the tables in between due to the some XYZ reason, your SQL server has ended, aborted. Okay. Now, data load process is incompleted. Suppose I am Shekhar, I have 4 records which are related to my employee records. Those 4 records are tell that regarding the salary components. HRA is this, DA is this, LTA is this, miscellaneous is this. Related to Shekhar employee records, out of the 4 records, 2 records are loaded into the table. And yet 2 records need to load into the table, but due to the XYZ reason, your SQL server connection lost and your data load process is stopped in between. Only those 2 records are entered into the log file. Now, this log file, what it will do, as this data load process is incompleted, whatever the records already inserted, those records are not meaningful. At that scenario, this log file will revert the changes, roll back the changes. It will roll back whatever already the records are inserted as part of that data load process, as it is completed in between and the inserted data is not meaningful. In that scenario, this log file will roll back all the changes. That is nothing but inserted records will be revert back. If it is inserted and then commit permanently, means that is not a meaningful data. That's what in between we have in this log file. Once the data load process is completed successfully, then only these records permanently will record into the data file. Then that data permanently commit into the tables. That is the purpose of this log file. Now tell me, you are clear or not clear, guys? Tell me. No.
It is quite clear, sir.
Okay, others.
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Yeah, now I will come here. See here, if you see in the folder, I told this SQL server. 1 second. SQL sessions. New, where is the new folder? See here, we have a multiple data files. Data file, primary data file, secondary data file. Here, log file. We have a multiple data files and then multiple log files. Why? Okay. For one database, while creation of one database, you can create the multiple data files and then multiple log files to maintain the consistency and to maintain the as part of the performance, by considering the performance aspects. Okay. And yeah, because if your database is very large, terabytes of data, if you store the entire database, the database into the one folder, then it is difficult, because if this drive capacity is full, then your SQL server will not respond. Because see, if your folder size is 1 TB, if your folder size is 1 TB and you are storing 1 TB of data into this file, again still you are trying to load the data into this database, as your local drive is full. Not only to load the data, it will create the problem to load the data, and also it will create the problem to performance of your SQL server also. Due to the insufficient storage location, your SQL server will also not run properly. It will take too much of time to bring the one record also. To avoid that, what we will do, we will create the multiple data files. Once again, this is log file, this is log file. Okay. This is data file. This is also data file. Okay. We will create the multiple data files. This will be stored into the D drive. Okay. This will be stored into the D drive. This will be stored into the E drive. Secondary file. This will be stored into the F drive. This is secondary file. I will tell you why this is secondary file. The extension is different now. This is NDF. This is NDF. Okay. And this is log file.elf. This you can say log file 1, log file 2, and you can say this is G drive. This is H drive. Now, whenever you are storing large data into the database, the best practice is you need to create the multiple data files. One is primary database. One is the primary database, remaining under secondary database, and secondary database data file extensions are .ndf. Primary data file extensions are .mdf. Now, what is the advantage here? You have stored in D drive, you have stored in E drive, you have stored in the F drive. While loading the data into this database, and this database has the multiple data files, and those data files are stored into the multiple drives, means it will do the parallel processing. Loading the data loading process will be take the advantage of parallel processing, and it will save the time, and also you can easily maintain your database. If the data files are available in the multiple drive and then multiple data files. And while retrieving the data also, suppose your one employee table data is spread into the multiple tables. While loading also, it will take the advantage of parallel processing. While retrieving also, it will take the advantage of the parallel processing, so that you can complete the task very fastly, and you can also very easy to maintain, because your database size is terabytes of 5 TB, 6 TB, 10 TB, 16 TB. In that scenario, administration task will be very easy if the database is stored into the multiple data files and stored into the multiple drives. Like that same thing, you are going to create the multiple log files. So that is the main advantage why we are going to create the multiple data files and multiple log files to the one database. Now tell me guys, this is clear or not clear?
Sir, I just want to know what is the use of log file here.
That is what, see, what is the use of multiple log files? Your database, your ETL batch process, your ETL batch process will load the huge data, right? Not 500 MB, 1 GB, 2 GB, not like that. Maybe it will initiate the data huge. In that scenario, only one log file is, again, it may take a little bit time, and then it will consume the only one drive space. For that, if you split that multiple log files, then the process will be very faster, and then your task will be completed very sooner. First, initially your transactions will come into the log file, right? If you try to loading around 5 GB of data in single ETL batch job, so in that scenario, it will utilize the two data files, and these two data files are stored into the two separate drives. So it is not create any problem. Not clear, huh?
Yes, sir.
Clear,
I'm clear.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm clear, sir.
Yeah, the same thing I have provided in the one image. Where is that image? I closed one second. Mhm. See, leave about the system database. We will discuss. This is user-defined database. You have multiple files. These are the database 1, database 2, database 3, like this. See here. So here you have a database 1, database 2, database 3, like that. And then within this database, you have a data file and then you have a log file. Okay. You have a data file and then you have a log file. And you will be having a multiple data files and then multiple log files. Till here we have discussed. Again, you have a file group and then you have a extent and then you have a page. If I explain all these things now, then you can't digest, I guess. This is again little bit very deeper knowledge, very in-depth knowledge, that one. If I if I explain all those things, you can't digest, I guess. What we will do? Tell me now. extension of these files now. Again, on top of these files, still I need to go into the next multiple levels. Level 1, level 2. So this is database is first level, tables are second level, data file, and then log file. Still, I need to go into the in this data files. Again, we will be having a file groups. Again, in the file groups, again we will be having a extents. In this extents, again we will be having a databases. There, that is a databases. I will tell you. This is database where exactly your table data, whatever you have inserted a data into this table, that data is going to store into the database. Anyways, we will discuss tomorrow, and we'll close this database architecture, and then we'll start our SQL Server concepts by tomorrow. SQL languages, DDL, DML. From there, we'll proceed further. Okay, that's fine, guys.
Yes, sir. That sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Chalo then. We will meet tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. And one more thing is mostly 1000% they will change the link by tomorrow. Or take care on that. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Have a nice day. We'll meet tomorrow.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, sir.